So, I've been gone for a bit. Main reason is I've been playing Resident Evil 4 Remake. Holy shit, where do I begin? Okay, so this game has probably been my most hyped game of 2023. Ever since it was announced, I was curious for what the hell it was gonna be like. Now, just to say I'm a huge fan would be an understatement because I fucking love Resident Evil. I've said this a couple times in my videos, but Resident Evil is my favorite horror series of all time. But Resident Evil 4 is my favorite horror game in general. So like, to see it was in a remake, I was both skeptical and hyped as fuck. I didn't think it needed a remake like most people, but I was interested due to their awesome track record in terms of remakes. Like, they got Resident Evil 1 remake, which is amazing. Resident Evil 2 remake is like one of the best games they've made for Resident Evil. Resident Evil 3 remake, which was okay, but I enjoyed it. So I was kind of giving faith a little bit to them. And I even remember like when the leaks were coming out and everybody was divided on it. Like when everyone was like, oh, what the fuck is this shit? I unfortunately didn't get to play the game on day one because I was doing some stuff. But I did end up playing the game 2 days later. And after playing the game non-stop for about like 20 hours and doing mostly a lot of the other stuff in the game, I can confidently say, God damn, this game's so fucking good. This game was so goddamn fun. I didn't want to stop playing. But like, what makes it so good? Like, what makes it to the point where I don't even want to stop playing? And after this, I'm probably going to play more? Well, let's get into it. This is my review for Resident Evil 4 Remake. Before we get into the game, let's talk about the story, which basically the story is after the Raccoon City incident in Resident Evil 2, and well, basically the PS1 games in general, Leon becomes an agent for the president, and his first mission is to rescue his daughter Ashley. He goes completely alone because Leon's a fucking beast. After making it to the island, he quickly realizes that the civilians were not completely normal, just to say the least, so Leon must find Ashley and get out without dying. Yeah, the story's pretty much the same as the original, with some very, very small changes. The story in the remake goes for more of a serious tone than the original game. Let's start with the positives for this game. Like, the story is like nothing really special, but for Resident Evil, it works. And we get the point of what the main character is trying to accomplish, find Ashley and just leave. It's fine. But story aside, let's talk about the actual game itself. Graphics are fucking fantastic. Like, they're so damn good. Like, I played this on PS5, which I don't know if that matters to anybody, but the graphics looked amazing. Like, the details on all of the characters were amazing. The redesigns for them were pretty cool. Like, I liked almost all the redesigns for the most part. And like, the gore when you're like killing the enemies looks so damn good. Like, whenever you're shooting an enemy, you gradually see body parts just coming off, and it's so satisfying to watch. The gameplay for this game is fucking fantastic. The game runs super fucking smooth. Leon controls like perfectly. He controls like Resident Evil 2 Remake, but with like added kits and shit from Resident Evil 4. And for all you, yes, he can aim and shoot and move at the same time, which is so amazing to use. Even though I love Resident Evil 4 so much, going back to that, it's kind of weird to get used to. It's not really a big negative for me whenever I play that game, but like, it does stand out. Like, the guns in this game, they're so satisfying to use. Like, you can feel the power in these guns. They are so good, and as I mentioned with the improved gore and seeing all the enemies like gradually take more damage, like, it's amazing to like, it makes the guns feel more powerful because you can gradually see like them tearing apart. When you get that headshot, damn, it's so satisfying. The knife returns, as you should expect, and it's a lot better in this game than the original. It's probably the best knife in like almost any of the games. Like you can, it works like the knife would, but you can parry enemy attacks with the knife and like pull off melee attacks. The parry, it's so busted and satisfying to use in game. It should be like illegal. Like it should be nerfed, but don't really nerf it. I don't want it to be nerfed. Like it's so fun when there's like 5 enemies around you and you're just parrying the hell out of all these enemies, and you just do a fucking melee attack, which the melee attacks are in the game, and they still hit so hard and they're so good, so satisfying to use, just like in the original game. Then they pack a punch. They're really powerful in this game, which I'm glad they're so powerful. But like the knife, I like it because it's like really powerful, but like you can't overuse it in game. What I mean by this is the knife breaks over time, and like once it's broken, you don't have a knife. So you constantly have to keep getting knives or repairing the knife you have when you start off the game, which it is the knife he gets from the person that dies and gives it to him in Resident Evil 2 Remake, which was a nice detail. This adds like kind of like more horror and survival horror into the mix. Resident Evil 4 is an action-packed game. Yes, there are some creepy moments, but like for the most part, it's like an action game. So like them adding more survival horror elements into the gameplay, it's a perfect balance of action and survival horror. Leon can now crouch in this game, which is cool. And when you crouch, you can perform sneak attacks on enemies. The sneak attacks are really cool. I didn't use them as much as I would have expected to, but whenever I did, it was satisfying to just see Leon grab an enemy and just stab the fuck out of it. Damn, I loved it. It adds another layer of depth to the gameplay, which, if you're weird and thinking I'm not gonna go in guns blazing, if you want to take out an enemy from behind, it gives you that option, and I like the diversity of gameplay in this remake. The merchant is back in the game, and he's still awesome. The merchant was one of the best parts in the original game. I love the merchant so much. He still appears randomly throughout the game. You don't know anything about him like in the original. It's perfect. You still buy and get upgrades from him like in the original, but the shop is better in this one because you can buy more stuff in the remake than you would in the original. Like you can buy recipes for ammo you can create, because yes, you can create ammo in this game, and it is really good to create ammo, if that makes any sense. I found myself really making a lot of ammo, because for me, I found that Resident Evil 4 Remake, you kind of have to preserve your ammo a little bit more than expected. Because in the original game, you just throw in guns blazing, basically. But in this one, you kind of have to preserve your ammo. But like near the end of the game, I was basically like, "What? I'm like basically out of ammo. What the fuck? How am I gonna take this boss down?" And I like that because that brings in classic Resident Evil into the mix. Just how it has been for like the remakes and like 7 and 8. Which I love a lot. You can still collect treasures and combine them with other treasures to earn the big bucks like in the original, and I still love that. I'm glad they brought that back because that was also a really cool element in the original game. How you can make a lot of money by finding these treasures and combining those treasures to make even more money. I love that in the original game. And it rewards you for exploration and stuff in that original game. And in this game, you get money fast. I found myself always finding money to like buy the upgrades and guns that you will eventually get later on in the game. But it's not like you just like is pouring down money in this game. Like you still have to work for it, if that makes any sense. But like there was never a point in time in the game where I was like, damn, I'm just not making money fast enough to get this done, or like, damn, I really can't be spending money. Like the game wants you to spend money on these fucking awesome weapons, like the fucking Striker, the Red 9 pistol, which are all fantastic. And depending on where you are in the game, You can go to the shooting range and try to get the highest score like in the original game. You are rewarded with tokens depending how good you did and trade them for keychains to put on your attached cases. The keychains have bonuses on them. Some of them are kind of pointless, but some of them are really helpful. Which also adds more depth to the already amazing gameplay because those bonuses can really change up the gameplay. And yes, you heard that right, the attached case are in this game again for your inventory. And it's awesome. It's pretty much the same as the original, not really anything different. There is an auto sort option, which I'm glad they kind of included into the game if you don't really like sorting out your inventory. But for me personally, I always like sorting it out myself because for some reason I just like to sort stuff out. It's more fun for me. And all the stuff that I've listed, like, is amazing. And the new stuff they added was fantastic. They do take out QTEs for the most part. There are some moments where you have to like press circle or something to dodge. But for the most part in the game, the QTEs are out, which is fine for me. Because that is one thing from the original game, which I find to not age that good. They add a lot to the world of this game. You still go to the village, the castle, and the military island. But all of them have new areas in them, which are awesome. Yes, there is a lot of moments in the game where you're going to the same areas in the original, which I love, but there are also like new areas scattered about. And there was points in the game like, where the fuck am I at? But I loved it, because like I love exploring these areas, and with the improved graphics, it was amazing. I was like more immersed in the game. Remember how in the original game, the first couple hours, you can shoot these blue medallions for the Punisher pistol you can get later on? Well, in the remake, you have side quests in the game. So basically, you have blue medallions and other stuff you can do all over the game now. The side quests are really, really cool. They give you a lot of cool stuff. And I spent a lot of my playtime just doing side quests. And like, because once you do a side quest, you get stuff. You can also trade. Because now you can trade items for the merchant in this game. And he'll give you stuff like the red 9 stop. It adds another layer of the game. And adds more to the world, so you're not just going from point A to point B. You can make a couple stops along the way, like, okay, let's do some of the side quests, so I can get these spinels and trade them for the merchant and see what I can get. I love that option. The bosses are all good here. Most of them return. Most of them. They're all challenging and fun to fight, but none of them feel unfair. Whenever I died, I never felt like, damn, this game is cheap or anything. I thought, well, I could have done this better, or I could have went in more prepared. So, and I love the way that the bosses are designed. Like in the original game, some of the bosses, like, you just stand there and kind of just shoot them, which is cool. But like in this game, like, they're all unique and fun to fight. This game is no slouch either. This game can be pretty fucking challenging, even for those who've played the original. Because I played the original a lot back then. And like, even then, even the experience you have with that, you can still get your ass handed to you. I remember getting my ass slapped pretty hard in this game. The voice actors are all good here, for the most part. All the characters are still lovable, like in the original. Some characters they do keep kind of secluded, like mainly Sadler, mostly towards the end of the game, which is a change, which I do kind of like, because it does kind of make him seem more important than he actually is. Because in the original game, he would kind of fuck around with Leon, which is nice and all, but in this game, since this remake is going for more of a serious tone, it works. Even though this game is going for a more serious tone, this game is still goofy as fuck. Leon will still give one-liners like in the original game. It's just not as much as the original game. You can tell that the tone is a lot different from the original. In the end game, it's pretty cool. I love that you can unlock cosmetics and other stuff to unlock. Now moving on to the mixed elements of this game. Ashley is still She's better in the remake, don't get me wrong, she's a lot better in the remake. But there are points where she is kind of annoying to deal with. Like, there were points where I'm like, Ashley, what the fuck are you doing? But overall, she's fine. She's not the worst. Like, she's not almost completely unbearable like she is in the original. In this game, she doesn't have a health bar, which is good, because it doesn't really make you worry as much. I mean, she can take hits, and you do have to get her up, but like she's fine. It's not like, completely terrible. One voice actor does sound a bit off, and that is Ada. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that Ada sounds off, and I completely agree. There was something about Ada that just does not fit at all for her character. She sounds completely bored and uninterested in anything that's going on. And like I said, I bring back the tone again, because like this game does have you could tell by the game, like when playing this game, you can tell that it goes for more of a serious approach than the original. The original game focused more on the lightheartedness and cheesy elements in it, while the remake is more serious. This can be a turn-off for others, but for me, I like this approach, which is fine. I like it because it makes more sense, and it kind of takes some of the goofy elements that are kind of dumb and make it better. Don't get me wrong, the original Resident Evil 4 is just like a masterpiece, but there are some moments where I'm like, okay, this is fucking stupid. They do take out a kind of a decent amount of stuff in the original game, which I'm not gonna spoil. But like, there was some stuff that take out, and one of them's major, and I was like, what the fuck? Why'd they take that out? That was disappointing. Now, I don't really have any overarching negative with this game. It's so goddamn good and so fun that I don't see any like massive flaws with this game. The only flaw I can really say is not even a bigger flaw. Is like, where the fuck is Mercenaries and where is Separate Ways? Mercenaries was fun in the original game, just killing all these enemies, seeing the high swords and the rewards, like the fucking hand cannon, which is in this game. It is in the game. Calm down, but you don't get it in Mercenaries. I did hear, I don't know if it's true, that DLC is coming out for this game. I don't know if that's true or not, so take it for as you will, which might add Separate Ways and Mercenaries. I will be down for that, because I really want to be down to play Separate Ways and Mercenaries, because they were really fun in the original game, like really, really fun. And to see the potential for these in the remake, damn, I'm hyped. I can confidently say this is one of the best remakes I've ever played. Remakes like Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, hell, even Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Dead Space Remake have all been good, but this one is like on a completely different level. You can tell that this remake was made with so much love and dedication and care from the developers. They really went all out on this one, and it shows. And this is coming from somebody who's a die-hard fan of the original game. I had such a blast with this game. And yes, I'm gonna go back to the original game and see how it holds up compared to this one. But I can already tell that I'm gonna be coming back to this game a lot. And I mean a lot. But my final score for the game is a 9.85 out of 10. I hope you guys liked my review for Resident Evil 4 Remake. I'm sorry it kind of took a little bit longer and I haven't been posting, but I've just been having so much fun with this game. And I have been kind of busy with outside of playing this game. But here it is. I hope you enjoyed. And if you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe if you want more, and share with people who are interested in Resident Evil 4. And just games in general, I guess. I will be coming back to the Kingdom Hearts playthrough and Dead Space Remake playthroughs whenever I get a chance. But for now, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.